Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm a former two-time world champion boxer, and uh, I I've been acting for a long time as well. But I took a break from my acting career for a while, and then God put me in a situation and turned everything around. So now I'm acting full time, and that's where I sit right now.
Okay. So you go. So earlier today, you told me you go by thespian. That's very. That's not in my vocabulary. But when you say I want to be known as a thespian,
Yes, because a thespian. I'm an actor, and I'm very serious about my craft. I go to acting class every week. I have a manager who is Laura Palace from Palace Management in LA. My agent is Houghton Talent in Atlanta, and everyone. Well, I'm well known for being a boxer. Yes, I'm a boxer. I'm a former two-time world champion. However, that is something I used to do. Now, I am an actor, and I would like to be taken serious as an actor because I put a lot of work into it, and I think that it shows in my work. You know, I'm in Creed, the BMF, Lola 2, and A Christmas Open House. All four of these, well, three of them are movies and one was a TV show, and they all came out around the same time. So everybody right now is getting accustomed to me being the actor.
yeah. So you're starting to become a household name and a face that people are familiar with, and you just named off. Well. It's getting there. It's getting there. I'm trying to give you your ups right now. Well, at least in the region, in Black Hollywood, aka Atlanta, people know who you are. Correct? Yeah. What you say? Yeah. People know yeah. So
Boxing part of me is what landed me the role. I mean, of course, the fact that I'm an actor as well, I was able to do boxing as a real person, as a real boxer, boxing professional, but also to be able to be an actor and do what it takes for the role in the movie Creed. So, a long, quick story. Not a long one, but a short one, but quick. Still got
all right. Whoa.
Everything's just happening all at once.
So it's happy.
Okay, so right now, I'm getting a lot of media attention. I'm doing a lot of interviews and podcasts, and CBS News has come to Atlanta to cover me, and it's all about my story of taking a tragedy and turning it into triumph. And this is what I was telling you about earlier. So, December 27th of 2021, I buried my older brother, Mark McClain, due to COVID. 5 days later, or 6 days later, January 2nd of 2022, I buried my mother due to COVID. They were both quarantining in the same house, and I lost both of them. And then I get back to Atlanta because that happened in Vegas. I was out there for the whole time, for the whole month, praying and begging God to save my people. And God had a better plan, a different plan. So, me being Muslim, I'm very much intact and aware of it's God's plan, period. And so I got back to Atlanta, and 5 days later, I get an audition for Creed. I'm in no mood to audition for Creed. But then I hear my mother, because my mother was a real one. And my mother would give it to you just like you needed it.
Yeah.
And she took me to the gym when I was 10 years old, and that's how I started boxing. My family's always been at all my fights, and my mother took us together as a family to go see Rocky 1. So I heard my mother's voice, and whenever my mother's going off, she take that pinky, stick out that thumb like that, and say, "You what? You ain't gonna try? Oh, you gonna try? You better try, boy."
Right.
And so I heard my mother and I could hear my brother supporting me, and so I got up and I did the audition, and I shot the audition on my cell phone, and I booked a role for Creed. Now, due to the fact that I just lost my mother and my brother so all of a sudden, and they were not sick or anything, so it was very all of a sudden, and at that moment I realized life is so short. And so when I got to set, so first of all, when you get a small part like I had, you're not given the script to read. You're given a couple pages for you to audition with. But when I got to set, we had a lot of downtime, and someone put the script in my trailer. So I read the script. And when I read the script, I found something that would never happen in a real fighter's life. And I said, you know what? I ain't got nothing to lose. I just lost my mother and my brother. I'm shooting for the moon. And so I went to Michael B. Jordan, whom I didn't know from anywhere. But he's a great guy. He was very open to hearing people's suggestions, like when he realized that this is my life, as a fighter. And so I went to him and I was like, I'm not going to ruin it for anyone that didn't see it. So I'm going to not really say exactly what it was. But there was something that happened in the script. I was only supposed to be on set for 2 days. And that was going to be it for me. But when I read the script, I went to Michael B. Jordan. I said, man, listen, I've been fighting since I was 10 years old. I'm a 2-time world champion. This is something that any fighter would never do. Unless in other words, I was not going to be in the movie anymore after that first thing that we did. It was 2 days and that was it. And I was like, this is something that would never happen in a real fighter's life unless you showed that the trainer died or there was a big fallout. There would have to be a reason that I was no longer in the movie.
Yeah.
And I told Michael B. Jordan that. And he goes, yeah, well, we're shooting that out in Cali and it's already casted.
Right.
And I said, I like LA.
Right.
And he kind of chuckled. And he said, you know what? All right, let me think about it. Then the next day he came back, he said, you know what, I think we're gonna make that change. And then I got a whole new contract. And I was, instead of being on the set for 2 days, I was a part of the Creed process for over a year. And it just changed my life. It reignited my acting career. And working on set with 2 gurus like Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan, it was like going to a master class every day. And especially with Jonathan Majors, because I was his trainer in the movie. So working on set with Jonathan Majors every day, it was like going to a master class.
I got you.
And so I would just study him and watch how he prepared for his role. Every time he had to get into, he could be just sitting here and then it's getting ready for him to shoot, and all of a sudden,
Right.
Omaha. I mean,
He wildin'.
he did what he had to do to get there.
Right.
And prior to that, I had auditioned for the BMF like 4 times and didn't get it. But then when I saw Jonathan Majors, he reminded me of what I learned in acting class in LA. And so I kind of just channeled that energy, and I got an audition for the BMF and I booked it. So it was a hell of an experience.
Nice
and I just feel that life is so short. So I always tell people, no matter what it is that you want, go out there and get it. And if you don't know how, go to YouTube.
Yes. Go to YouTube. So we want to ask you some things that's happening out there in the boxing community. So I'm gonna have Liv. You want to ask him some questions?
Yeah. Well, I also wanted to know, what really inspired you to transition from boxing to acting? What was your main inspiration?
So, and real quick, I was dating an actress who I don't need to say her name, but I was dating an actress, and we went to Angela Bassett and Courtney Vance's wedding. And I was standing there with the actress and with Michael T. Williamson. And all of a sudden, this lady walks up and goes, "Are you an actor?" And before I could say no, they were like, "Yeah." I was like, "Huh?" They're like, "Don't worry, we got you." She was the wife of the director of How Stella Got Her Groove Back. And this is when I really, so long story short, they ended up talking me into it, and I auditioned for it, and I got a call back, and that just got the juices flowing, and from there I just kind of.
So you didn't have any like acting experience like in the past as a kid or anything like that? You kind of just jumped into it?
So, real quick, when I was 5 years old, I auditioned for a Whataburger commercial, and I booked it. But Rodney Allen Rippey, he ended up shooting it because I was playing in the street being hard-headed and got hit by a car and had a cast from my ankle to under my arm for like 6 weeks. And so I couldn't do the commercial. But I didn't think about acting anymore until like years.
Would you like to see fight in the boxing ring?
I would like to see Jones. I would like to see Jones. I would like to train Jones to fight in the boxing ring. Jim Jones, right? John Jones, right? Yeah.
All right, cool.